Hey guys, I'm back in landscape mode. I know there was some commenter on my channel that really liked me being in landscape mode, and no need to worry about the fact that I'm in pajamas because I'm wearing an oversized shirt and you'll never see anything. So, anyway, guys, because I always wear oversized shirts and tight pants because I'm weird. I'm not wearing tight pants now because I'm in pajamas, but you get the point. Anyway. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about something. So first of all, you probably noticed the rebranding, the new picture, and the new channel name. So I just kind of didn't really think I was a review channel anymore. I'm definitely more of a variety channel. And a lot of the stuff I want to film is, you know, stuff like, not even trends, but like trying different things. Like, oh, I ran for 10 minutes straight, like I filmed that earlier, like that's a challenge I did. But I definitely won't do any extreme ones, because I did the shirt challenge one time where I basically just wore a bunch of shirts on top of each other, and that was really scary. That was actually scary because I like couldn't breathe. So I'll try to not do anything that's too scary, because I've seen some really scary online challenges. Now I might talk about that a little bit later on, at least when it comes to dieting, but because I have no desire to diet, but I'll get into that a bit more. So, just personally, I just kind of wanted to say that I know I always try to be open and candid, but I always kind of play it for laughs. Like, I'm always like, ha ha, like, you know, self-deprecating humor and all that, which I do think can be funny. I think self-deprecating humor is pretty funny, but it got to the point where it wasn't funny. It was just me deprecating myself. So, one of the things about the rebranding is I'm not going to promise consistent uploads because my life is a bit crazy this year because I have a summer program. I'm literally becoming an adult this year. And I can't promise anytime soon there being an improvement in video quality. I'm sorry. It doesn't look as bad when I'm filming on my phone, but then when I upload it to YouTube, the quality looks horrible. And I don't have a good camera, and even if I did, I don't really know how to edit or do anything. So, and I don't really have time to edit. So, to all of you who, like, I can't really promise any quality improvements in the future. That's not really the point. But I just kind of wanted to say that it being a variety channel, I'm going to keep doing dances, I'm going to keep doing challenges. I want to be open to talking more about serious things and, like, making commentary and not just I don't do album reviews anymore. You've noticed that because I don't really have time to listen to albums. I'd only do an album review if I listened to an album and it really suited my fancy, or if I felt like doing a deep dive discography, but I can't promise you when those would come out. I know I said the year-end Hot 100 is coming out. It's already March. I just don't know at this point if that's even going to happen. It's just that stuff is a lot of work. The thing about Top 20 Ranked is I said I'm definitely not doing them monthly anymore. I don't know when I'll do them. I thought about doing it this week, and I still might Thursday. I'll have to see how I'm feeling. So I'm not actually sure if I want to do Top 20 Ranked yet, because the thing is that there is some stuff on the charts that I haven't talked about, but there's also some stuff that's kind of not necessarily controversial, but would have to dive into guilty pleasure territory. Basically, the song Hot Girl Bummer by Black Bear is a really hated song, and I kind of like it, and it's just embarrassing to have to, like, go into that. Also, that means I have to listen to a bunch of songs that I've heard, like, once or twice, like After Hours by The Weeknd, which is a 6-minute long song, and I heard it once and I wasn't impressed. So I'm just kind of in that group, and I have to talk about BTS as well, which is, like, I love BTS. I love K-pop, but, like, that's something that I've never branded myself as, and I've never been like, oh, I love K-pop. And my interests change a lot, so I'm autistic, and I have these special interests, and my interests change a lot, and I've been decently into K-pop for a couple years. I was into Blackpink for, like, 2 years. I love them, but it was only recently that I actually learned who was who, and with BTS, I'm still trying to figure it out, because I'm a pretty new BTS stan, and sorry, I'm being quiet because I hear my dad in the hallway. But anyway, BTS, it's not even about BTS, it's just, I don't want to, like, go on and praise BTS, because that's an awkward thing to admit to liking, because I already feel like I get enough shit for liking American pop music, for liking Ariana Grande, for liking, like, I already feel like I get enough shit for that, because a lot of the people who started following me on Twitter and on YouTube were people who were classic rock or Britpop fans, because I would make content about those bands. And that doesn't mean I still don't like those bands or don't listen to them when the mood strikes. I mean, I will say there's some fandom things that kind of wrecked Oasis for me. I still love Oasis, and when the mood strikes, I'll listen to them. But I don't really have time to dig into the deep philosophical classic rock albums, and I just don't have time to do that. And I just listen to songs and playlists and pop songs lately. So I got bored of Western. There weren't that many pop songs, and I got bored of Western music, so I've just been listening to a lot of K-pop, because you don't really need albums. Albums aren't important. It's a singles-oriented genre, even more so than Western pop. It's literally just, like, it's great all-purpose music. I can work out to it. And all that. So I've just been listening to a shit ton of K-pop, and that's something that I would like to talk about, some K-pop things, some issues that I have, just not with K-pop necessarily, but just like commentary type videos, like even things about specific people or specific things. Like, I made the two videos, for instance, I made the video about the Nintendo fans being ungrateful for the online service, and I made the video about Nintendo itself needing to step up their game and release more content. And I want to make more videos along that line. Not all of them are going to be gaming related, though some of them might be related to K-pop or just pop in general, pop culture, celebrities, whatever. Like if I wanted to make a video about how I'm worried about Blackpink's future, or how a certain K-pop idol is being mistreated, or if I want to make a video about a YouTuber or something that I think is important, even if it's a negative thing, even if it's like, and I really don't want to ever talk about Onision, but that's just an example of something I would make a video on, possibly. Or even something weird like a crime case, because I did film this video the other day. I don't think it actually saw the light of day. I honestly don't know if that ever... Oh, it was these videos about woke Reddit. Oh, it's on my iPod maybe, but I didn't actually upload it, but it's just like, Reddit is woke. And by the way, guys, I'm really sorry if you're hearing noises. I just have this little stained glass thing, and it has a chain, and I'm just playing with it. I'm just stimming, so y'all can... I really have to do that if I can't just sit here and talk. I have to do something with my hands. So, I was just saying, so, yeah, so it's kind of awkward. So it's not that I'm gonna stop making music reviews or like best and worst list, whatever, when the time is right, and I'm not gonna never make more music videos and more videos. And I do want to do the Beatles songs ranked one of these days. But I think I could do some smaller songs, some small ones where they only have like 10, 12 songs, because a lot of these K-pop groups don't have that many songs. So I was thinking I would do some of those groups and rank their songs. I just thought that'd be like a super fun thing to do. I could rank all of Blackpink's songs. I could rank all of what's their name? Everglow. Everglow is another group that I totally stan, but they only have 10 songs so far, so I could rank all their songs. I don't know, it's just kind of one of those things that, and then I'm just getting into bands. It's nice, I can keep it nice and concise. So for those big groups that have 5, 10, 13, 15 songs, and then I get into a group like BTS, and they have so many songs, I can't keep track of anything, and they literally just released new music, so I'm like... I know all the title tracks, I think. I'm at the point where I know all the title tracks. This was a new song they just released. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was a lot better than the last song they released, because last song they released was Black Swan, which was just kind of boring. I don't know. But, like, what was the song they just released was on? It's good, but, like, my brain isn't at the point where I'm, like... I can barely process, because I literally just started listening to, like, BTS past a few songs, and I'm like, there's so many BTS songs I've heard that are new and old, so it's like hard for me to even process what I like, what BTS songs I like, aka most of them, but and what I actually think is good or whatever. So again, like, that's a song that, like, I think it's okay, but it's definitely gonna grow on me. That The Weeknd song is probably definitely gonna grow on me. The Box by Roddy Ricch is still #1, and it's frustrating me. And it's just, I have no reason to do a top 20. If I do a top 20 ranked right now, it just wouldn't be accurate. But then if I don't do it now, I doubt BTS is going to stay. So I'm probably not going to talk about that, which I could just talk about BTS on my own volition, which I would love to do. And I might even do some commentary type things. There's a topic regarding BTS that I do want to talk about. actually, regarding a specific member of BTS that I do want to talk about. And none of this is negative stuff. It's just a lot of times when I make these types of videos, it would be like me expressing my concerns more than anything. Like, I'm not gonna hate on Jennie from Blackpink. Like, I would never hate on her, but like, if I was worried about her, I might make a video saying why I'm worried about Jennie, because I am. But that's kind of beside the point. But it's just an example of like something I could potentially film in the future. Would be like, we need to talk about Jennie, or in the case of BTS, I want to make a video about Jimin because reasons. And there are things that I don't even want to talk about, but I often feel like I need to talk about, like leeching off that, because it's just like, they're like problematic. Like some of those like Tumblr deep dives, which I'm not on Tumblr, but maybe like Reddit. I'm not going to go into super gross ones, but you kind of get the idea. I do want to talk about, I guess, like more serious stuff and be more of a commentary channel. But I still want to continue to make music-related videos and still want to continue to make the things that I want to make. But I just want to be able to branch out into that realm without feeling, and I'm starting to do that already. I still want to make a video about the Smash community as a whole. I want to make a video about Sakurai. I think, speaking of people I'm worried about, I think I should make a video about Sakurai. Like, there are just people I want to make a video about because, like, generally if I'm worried about someone, if I think someone's, you know, in trouble, or if I'm worried about them, then I'll make a video about it. So, that's kind of how I am. So I think I could definitely make a video about Sakurai. Just like an example of something I would make, like, we need to talk about Sakurai's unhealthy habits. We need to talk about Jimin's unhealthy habits. We need to talk about the hate that Jennie is getting. Like, those are the types of videos I could totally see myself making. And it's just, sorry, I'm out of breath. It's like, something that, I just felt like I wasn't comfortable branching out into that realm. I wanted to make those videos, but I didn't think anyone would watch them because you all subscribed for music criticism, album reviews, etc. And that's just not really what I want to make right now. And I know, like, for months I haven't been making that stuff, but I'll keep uploading these random videos and then promising, oh, normal content's coming back soon, and then it just doesn't, because I just have no desire to film quote-unquote normal content. And anytime I try to come up with any sort of schedule for myself, it never works because I'm busy as fuck right now. I'm also depressed, although I'm doing a lot better, which is I will get into. But speaking candidly, right now I'm honestly busy as fuck trying to deal with a lot of shit and not fall into depression again. So it's a lot, honestly. But I mean, I've talked pretty candidly about my own, you know, personal life in the past. I mean, when I would make videos about just random shit, I've always made videos about random shit, but I want to be able to focus more on, like, commentary. And I was just thinking the other day, like, I'm worrying, I'm not even going to get into it, but there is a YouTuber that I am worried about again, and I do want to talk about it, but it's kind of a touchy subject, and I don't really, like, when I say I don't want to talk about it, it's not that it's that I wish I wasn't in this position. Like, I wish this person was doing better. But it's like, I want to talk about it because I think it's important, and I don't think enough people are worried this time around. And relapse is no joke, y'all. So I think it's important to talk about that stuff. And even if there's, like, an interesting crime case, or if just something is just fucked up, and sometimes I need to rant, like, honestly. So I know it's a lot, but just, like, generally speaking, or even if I want to react to, like, crazy, like, Radfin posts, or just something like that, I want to do content like that, and more commentary, more, like, videos about stuff. And of course, I'll still make videos about the things I love. I'm not going to do as many focus reviews, but I love making top 10s. I love making rankings and lists, so I could do rankings and lists about, you know, music, video games, whatever, all that stuff that I love. Of course, I'm still going to make those videos. I am tired. It's late. So, yeah, I think I'm still going to make those videos, but overall, I just genuinely didn't feel comfortable branching out, but I think I'm okay with it now. I think I just had to, like, rebrand and then, like, explain what was going on. So, I was just saying I've been really candid about my personal life, and I don't want to get into the details of it, but basically, more or less, it was early 2016. I was 13, and my mom got diagnosed with cancer, and she passed away in 2017 in July. So I've mentioned this before on my channel, and there's a whole lot of baggage down with that, because stuff like, oh, I didn't, you know, we argued a lot, we disagreed a lot, and just, like, stuff. I don't know, it's a long thing. So I just want to clarify that I was having bad anxiety, you know, dealing with the stress of having this up in the air lifestyle with a parent who was very sick and having to go to the hospital and randomly staying at my cousin's overnight because my mom would have to go to the ER, and like it was just very stressful when I was like 13 to when I was 15. It was just super. It was like 2 years. It was just super stressful. That whole experience was insanely. It was like a year and a half. It was like well over a year and a half, which is like from that, and it was a super stressful experience for me because I was literally 14 years old. I was not in a good position to be in that position because I was literally 14. I had my own shit to worry about, and I just wasn't able to really live my life like a 14-year-old should. Honestly, my entire childhood was kind of fucked. I mean, it's not so wrong. My parents are amazing. I didn't have friends really as a kid, so like I was always lonely, and then I was finally starting to make some friends around middle school era, and then my mom got sick, and then everything was up in the air. I felt like I couldn't have any sort of life because it was just being thrown and thrust around. And really the whole vibe of it, and this was like 2-3 years ago. I'm just bringing it up now because it's one of those things that I just personally feel is something that really fucked me up, honestly, and I was just really anxious, and like I just remember, like I'm not gonna like get into politics or what I think about politics right now because that's not really the point, but like it's just crazy, like this election, like I'm kind of stressed out. And I'm just remembering so vividly the 2016 election, and that was 4 years ago. That just shocks me. Like, how the fuck was that 4 years ago? My brain cannot comprehend that was 4 years ago. Like, it just feels like it wasn't 4 years ago. Because I will arguably say, and not for political reasons, I just want to specify that, but I think 2016 was the worst year of my life because that was when my mom got diagnosed with cancer. She had brain surgery the same day we were forced to move into a house I hated. Everything about that year was shit. Everything was, so definitely worst year of my life, but I would say 2018 is a close second. So you're like, what? It happened in 2017. 2018, I was just super depressed, honestly. Like most of 2018, I was super depressed. So what happened after, all this happened, I was actually still keeping up in school because I'm homeschooled, and I was actually still keeping up in school when she was sick, and I was going to friends' houses and just like doing my schoolwork. But then when she passed away, I did join a club and I made some friends. I just still have other friends, by the way. I just want to clarify that I had a couple friends from earlier, but it wasn't that I had no friends, it was just not many friends and I didn't see them much. So I'm legitimately friends with like 2 or 3 people from my childhood. And one of them is, like, my cousin. So it's literally just, like... And, like, the other one, it's just crazy that we're even still friends because we totally don't have anything in common. But... other than she can kick my ass in Mario Kart. That's the only thing that... But I can kick her ass on Rainbow Road. But, like... It's crazy that I even still have friends. Honestly, so... but I did make some more friends, and honestly, my best friend I made, during this time, when I first came out of everything, started, when I was, 2017 to 2018, and stuff was going okay, because I didn't have that stress of anything to do, but then I had, like, the fallout of all the emotional damage that had happened, and honestly, when I say I was super depressed, basically what happened was that I wasn't doing my work, and I kept promising I would do it, and then I didn't do it, and I had a bunch of promises that I didn't keep. So I basically didn't do my schoolwork, and I'm basically a high school dropout. That's basically what happened, because I didn't finish school. I'm still in co-op, I still have classes, and that's going to be ending in May, and then I'm going to look for work for a couple months, and then I'm going to be gone in July. And in terms of filming, I just don't know, because I will be in a room with one other person. It says I have a roommate, so at this place that I'll definitely still be online. I'll be on social media and all that, but I just don't know if I'll actually be on YouTube. But that's really not the point right now. Specifically right now, how I feel is just, it's been a lot. So I would say probably, honestly, early 2018, probably New Year's in 2017. I don't remember. New Year's Eve is always bad. I don't remember. There was one time I actually watched the ball drop, and then I'm like, why did I watch the ball drop? Because I don't care. Like, I feel empty inside when I watch the ball drop. Like, is that such, like, a weird thing to be, like... And it's, like, right now, I always joke, I'm, like, when I'm 25, I'm gonna go see the ball drop in person, and I'm gonna be like, this is me on a typical Wednesday night. Me being depressed and living by myself. Or I'll be living with 6 people, but I don't know why I said 6. I've never heard of 7 people living in a unit. I'm sure it's happened, but specifically 6. But it's like I won't have a significant other, and everyone else will be working, and I have no friends, and I just go stand in Times Square by myself. I'm like 25, and I'm just like, I can just like picture myself doing this, and that's the crazy thing. It's like it's funny to me. It shouldn't be funny. Like, oh man, I'm lonely. I have no significant other. I have no friends. I'm in Times Square and I have no significant other and no friends. Like, why is that funny to me? Like, it shouldn't be. That's the problem. It's like, it shouldn't be remotely funny. And like I said, I've had bad anxiety, I've had panic attacks, I've had severe anxiety about climate change, politics, various things. I literally had a panic attack last month because I thought the world was going to end. I convinced myself that we were going to be nuked, which did not happen, obviously, because I'm here. Hi. But getting back into this, I just want to say, like I said, 2018, so probably the period, so I've been on YouTube since summer of 2018. I've been dealing with that stuff since then, and probably the period of time that I was the most depressed was probably from, I would say, I tend to be more depressed in the winter and around the holidays, but I would say definitely like fall of 2017 into, fall of 2018 into spring of 2019 was probably just the worst, like, because I remember I was falling behind in school. I was like, in the classes I was taking, I was doing badly. I wasn't paying any attention, because if you're depressed, you're not going to want to pay attention to the things you do like, let alone the things you don't like, and I fucking hated chemistry, so I just wasn't paying attention to the class. So my grades suffered. I just remember I was really depressed. It was hard to explain how I was really depressed. I was just fatigued. I wasn't getting anything done. I had no motivation, and it was just not fun. I mean, that's all I can really say. And I'm not going to pretend that 2019 was a whole lot better. 2019 was an important year because I did do a lot of stuff. I basically kind of figured out my life plans in 2019, which is a good thing because I needed to do that. But it came with a shit ton of emotional baggage. Honestly, I would say the beginning of the year was not great, and then summer was okay, and then after that, like the fall, like around Halloween, I was really depressed again because I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. But honestly, ever since the holidays, with the exception of that panic attack, what I'm saying is, like, ever since the holidays, ever since the new year, with the exception of that crazy wacko panic attack, I honestly have been doing a lot better mentally. And that's a good thing, and I think I am pulling my life together, and I'm trying to do these things. So what I mean by that is I got sick of the bullshit, basically. I kept saying, for like 2 years, I'm sick of this. I'm going to pull my life together. I'm going to pull my life together. I'm going to pull my life together. I need to pull my life together. I'm sick of this. And I would try something, and it just didn't work, and I just did not have the motivation. I was not in the headspace where I was able to pull my life together. And then now this is the year when I pull my life together, and I really don't have a choice, because I'll be 18. I have to support myself. I really don't have a choice. So it's kind of at the point where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pull my life together and get my affairs in order. That sounded like I was about to die. That's not what I mean. I just mean I need to get things in order so I can, like, move out and figure all that out. It's like, hey, I figured out some important things. Like, hey, I'm never gonna drive a vehicle. Hey, I know kind of roughly what part of the country I want to live in. Hey, maybe it's better if I just, honestly, I do think even when I went to New York, it was just something that made me realize, like, okay, I have a future. Fuck. And this is gonna sound really depressing, and I'm gonna be completely honest about this right now. This is gonna sound super fucking depressing. But it gave me, like, a reason. As much as I was depressed when I got back because I couldn't go back, it gave me a reason it gave me something to look forward to. It gave me a future. Because I felt like I didn't have a future and my life wasn't going anywhere and I had no plans. Like, whatsoever. Like, I just thought my life is never going anywhere. And I went to New York and I'm like, hey, look, there's possibilities. And honestly, that was probably the most important thing. Again, 2019 was not a good year mentally, but it was formative, and I needed that shit that happened. Because it gave me some sort of purpose. Just being able to, like, separate yourself from your surroundings and just be able to go, I don't know, go to the top of a tall building at night, look around, and try to find your purpose in life. Like, it's just, I highly recommend it. It's like really important to just remember there's possibilities outside of where you're stuck. But I felt so stuck for so long. And I think right now it's just like mentally I'm not trapped anymore, and like physically I'm going to be able to move soon, and it's just like this is actually coming together, and I'm so excited, honestly. So, but because all that's going on, I've been super fucking busy. So, because I'm finally getting my life together. So, that's been a thing. So, there's that. So I just kind of wanted to say, I've just always had pretty bad struggles with depression, and there was a long period of time, and I'm just going to be honest about this, and there was a long period of time where I pretty much ever since I got on social media until like a couple months ago, the entirety of my like social, like not the entirety of it, I mean I would shitpost about things that I liked as well, like of course I would shitpost, but basically whenever I would post selfies and whenever I would talk about myself, like I had this thing on social media, and I legitimately felt this way about myself, where I would always put myself down. I would always say I was ugly, because even if I didn't think I was super ugly in the picture, generally I didn't think I looked good, because I just had this like bad image of myself. And also and this is the most frustrating thing. So I would constantly say I looked ugly. I would make fun of things like I would talk about my own acne, my own like problems with my face. And a lot of that was probably because of stress, like I said, and I'm going to have acne because of stress, and there's not really anything I can do about it. I have anxiety, and it's like, generally my acne's not that bad, and it's not that noticeable in a low-resolution iPhone picture on Instagram. Like, nobody's going to be like, oh my god, look at her acne. Like, right now, you have to even, like, look close to even, like, see anything. Like, it's literally, yeah, it's... But the thing is, I would always be so self-conscious about literally everything. I couldn't decide I still can't decide what to do with my hair. But I remember I had the pink highlights, and I had some really cute pictures, some really cute outfits, and I just kept saying, I'm ugly, I was so, and it wasn't so much a physical thing, it was mostly just, I'm never going to get anywhere, and I just felt that, but because the reason I was depressed was because I felt like my life had ground to a halt, and I was never going to get anywhere, and I wasn't accomplishing anything. So that was mainly the reason I depressed. The reason I was depressed didn't really have anything to do with how I looked or anything like that. But because I was so negative in every other aspect, it bled into that. And it really started being to a point where I would start saying, because it was like, until I was like 14, like I would literally never said anything until I would start saying, oh, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm blah, 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 blah. And I would start saying that. And it's like, and then everyone's like, what the fuck, you're not. And it was like, earlier this year, it was like, oh, I'm actually cute in this picture. Is it okay if I say I'm cute in this picture? Does that make me sound vain? Does that make me sound conceited if I say I'm cute in this picture? And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I look cute in this picture. So I kind of had to get to that conclusion and stop putting myself down just because I thought it would make other people feel better. Because it doesn't. It makes other people feel worse. When I see people put themselves down, I just feel bad for them. And it's like, you know, it's that sense of if I say I'm cute, I feel like someone else is gonna be like, oh my god, you're not cute, or someone's gonna even think, oh, I wish I was cute like you, which is what people think anyway. Even when you self-deprecate, it doesn't matter. People always think they look inferior to other people, and I just went through this whole negative phase of just, like I said, I was depressed in every other aspect of my life, and there's just like that was something that I was just like, it was an awful feeling because I was really insecure. But, like, I had no desire to do anything, and that was the problem. And honestly, and this is the thing, and if you get triggered, because this isn't even, like, but I'm gonna talk about, like, weight loss. I'm not in a bad way, but I'm just, if you get triggered by that, just, so basically what happened was that I had no desire to, so I would, like, go for, like, a few weeks where I'd be, like, pretty good about exercising pretty frequently, like, in my room, you know, just, like, by myself, like, I wouldn't exercise. Oh, and I was really committed to dance for a while there. I was doing two classes a week. I was practicing. That was, like, the one thing I was committed to when I was depressed and couldn't do anything else. And then, honestly, lately, I really haven't been committed to it. It's really falling off my radar. As I'm busy and I'm finally getting my life together, I just feel like it's something that I got kind of depressed. I got busy. I was depressed. I was busy. I didn't want to do dance. And then now I'm just kind of, like, moving on from it. I don't mean I will always dance and I will always love dancing. I mean, like, dance class and Irish dance and taking those classes. Because I dropped out of one class earlier this year. I actually dropped out of my bonus class because I was taking 2 classes. I'm down to 1, and I'll be down to 0 soon just because this class needs. And that doesn't mean I won't take other classes. I might take martial arts. I might take another type of dance. I'm just saying, generally speaking, I might just, you know, go to the gym and work out. I don't know. I'm just, generally speaking, this is what happened, and I had, like, no desire to, like, fix myself, and I would be good about exercising for, like, a couple weeks, and then I would just go back to not exercising at all. And I would say, oh, at least I'm doing dance twice a week. I'm getting pretty decent exercise. I'm doing dance twice a week. I'm going outside, you know, whatever. But then it was like, once I stopped doing dance twice a week, and that was a few months ago, I really wasn't exercising at all. Like, for like not maybe 6 months, but like 3-4 months, I wasn't exercising at all, other than dance class, when I would even go, which I wasn't even going that much. And, like, with the exception of today, I worked out today. It's like, I was literally not exercising at all for, like, a good solid several months there. And it's one of those things that, and when I talk about weight loss, it's one of those things that, so I remember, so I don't want to be, like, triggering, because I'm 5'4", just so you know, because I'll be completely honest, I don't think I've ever had anyone tell me I was fat, or anyone actually think I looked fat, because I don't, like, that sounds arrogant when I say that, but I mean, I'm pretty average looking. I am not noticeably overweight, like, that's just, and I mean, I've said this, I think it's a stupid double standard. I have friends who are small, I think bone structure is part of it too. I have a friend who has larger bones and is bigger, but she's not overweight or unhealthy, she's just a larger person. And I have a friend who's, like, very small bone structure. What I was saying is that I think, like I said, my bone structure, I think, is also somewhere in the middle. I'm pretty average sized in general, generally speaking, but I remember it was right after, you know, right around the time I was, you know, fully in my adult weight, and in like 2017, when my mom passed away. I just remember I was about 140 pounds, and I was thinking, because I'd been gaining weight, because I was like 110, 120, and, you know, because I was still getting taller and gaining in other places, so I was falling out into my adult figure, right? So at this point, I was, like, really settled into, like, my adult weight, and that's what the doctor said, and I was 140, and I was not happy with that. I remember I was, like, not happy with that, and then, but I didn't do anything. And I remember distinctly this happened. I remember what happened was that I was super depressed, not because of my weight, just generally speaking, I was super depressed. And I just remember I had, like, no food at home. We had food, but I remember I would just eat crackers and granola bars. Like, I wouldn't eat meals. Or I would eat, like, one meal, and then I would eat, like, crackers and granola bars. And this wasn't because I was trying to not eat or anything. I wasn't trying to lose weight. I just literally didn't want to make food or have any motivation to do anything. So I finally figured out food options that work for me. I do microwave ravioli. I do stuff like that, which is easy to make. And something you can just keep in the freezer and eat every day for lunch if you need it. So it's like something like that. I've figured out ways to, you know, actually have meals, at least, you know, some sort of meals, like, and not just eat crackers and chips and cookies, because that was literally all I was eating during the day, outside of, like, I don't even know what I eat for breakfast, and then I have, like, crackers. It's like, now I have, like, some pasta, an orange, some crackers, a cookie, some milk, you know, when I have, like, lunch. That's what, like, I actually eat food now. So I just want to say that, like, because I actually found food that I was able to prepare for myself while still being, you know, lazy. Because I've never been much of a cook, but that was one of the things that I just remember I wasn't even paying attention to it, and then it was like a year later, and I've noticed this now, and it's like I had lost at least, well, no, it wasn't even that it was 140. It was like I thought I was close to 145 at some point. I think I was. Honestly, can't remember. And I had lost down to like 128, like as of a couple months ago. It's like I'd lost a good bit of weight, like close to, even if I wasn't 145, even if it was like 142, I'd lost like about 15 pounds probably in the like year or so. And again, I had not grown, I had not really changed in body shape or size at all much, pretty much. So like none of that was, you know, happening, because it wasn't like, oh, fluctuating weight because you're growing up or growing in your body. This was like not normal weight loss. It wasn't terrible, but it like was kind of abnormal. Again, I think it was partly just because I was stressed, partly because I wasn't eating enough, but not because I was like trying to lose weight, but just because I just wasn't eating because I was like depressed. So one of the things is that it's been really stressful. It's been like, so I wasn't eating enough, and then like now I'm eating enough again, and I'm like, hey, and I wasn't gaining weight for a while, and I was like, hey, this isn't the way I would choose to lose weight, but I'm glad I lost that weight, because now I'm like 130 pounds again, and I'm happy with that. And then it's like, because like I'm eating, and I don't eat like super ridiculously healthy, and I'll talk about that, you know, whatever, but just kind of like, I don't just stuff my face with junk food either. I try to be mindful. Like, when I say I try to be mindful, like, I'm gonna have pasta, I'm gonna have fruit, I'm gonna, like, eat food and not just junk. But I'm also not gonna put myself through a diet. Any sort of diet. I don't care what kind of diet it is. I don't care if it's a self-inflicted diet. I don't care if it's you go online and you come up with some sort of diet. I personally refuse to diet. And when I say any sort of diet, the only thing that could make me diet would be if I became allergic to something and I couldn't eat it. And the only things I will not eat are things that bother my sensibilities in terms of texture, taste, something that makes me feel ill. If it bothers me, certain cheese textures or like scrambled eggs, those things make me feel sick. The texture of them is like, because I'm autistic and I'm like hypersensitive, and that's legitimately how I feel. Those things make me feel gross. So I won't eat them because I don't like them, because they make me feel bad. But I will never not eat something because someone tells me to. If someone's telling me like when I see people online and say, don't eat meat, like, go vegan, I would never do that because someone told me to. If I ever wanted to, I would, but I don't really want to. And the thing is that I don't even eat that much meat. Like I said, I eat, like, bacon. I don't eat a ton of, even now to this day, I don't eat, like, a shit ton of food. I do eat, I would say I probably eat about a normal amount for... Probably, I don't even know if I eat a normal amount, but I think that's a good thing, because I think the normal amount that people eat is like way too much, because my dad eats like so much food. I'm like, how do you eat that? But I eat like a normal amount for like what's like okay, like for what I need. But the problem is I don't really, well, it's not a problem, it's just I don't necessarily eat at normal times. I'll have like 3-ish meals, 4-ish meals, but they're small meals, and then I have snacks, so I'm also a grazer. So, like, I don't really eat large meals, so I'll be at a table and I'll eat, like, I won't even eat, like, half of it, and people will be like, are you okay? And I'll be like, no, I just don't eat large meals, so, and that's not me dieting, that's just literally, I'm not hungry right now, I don't want another large meal. So the thing is that, when I say I refuse to diet, including, like, vegetarian, veganism, and people have said I'm a shitty person for not being vegan. Yay! So when I refuse to diet, it's because when I was younger, I had this fear and this obsession, because I had OCD when I was younger. I was pretty bad, and because just a whole bunch of stuff escalated, and I ended up having very bad anxiety and some compulsions that came with it. And I remember when I was younger, and this had nothing to do with losing weight or anything, this had nothing to do with body dysmorphia, because again, I was very sheltered from the media. And I was one of those, like, good Christian kids, and I was so sheltered from media. I remember there was a magazine cover of Demi Lovato in, like, some sort of outfit, which was, like, you know, you could see her skin, you could see her stomach, you could see, like, and I was just, that's so inappropriate. Like, I just remember that. I was, like, 12, 13, and I'm like, oh, my God, Demi, you're a body positivity queen, and you need to keep wearing outfits like that, and I love you, and you're amazing. But that's not really the point. because, like, Demi Lovato struggled with eating disorders herself. She's been open about struggling with eating disorders. I think she's awesome. But that's not the point of the video, but, when I was younger, it's just, like, and also just kind of going through, like, my own identity crisis and trying to figure out who I was apart from the way I was raised without insulting the dead. It was kind of an awkward thing. But the thing about me being depressed and about food is that, like, I honestly recently I weighed myself, and I was back up to 140, and I was like, oh, shit. I'm back up to 140. How did that happen? Because I haven't been eating more than usual. Like, I've literally been eating about the same that I've eaten for, like, the last year at least. Same diet, same food, same everything. Like, I'm still eating lots of carbs, which I know you can say that's not the healthiest thing. But it's just like I said, as long as I'm not gaining exorbitant amounts of weight from it and my metabolism can handle it, I'm not gonna fuss, because when I say I refuse to diet, I'll go back to that. The point is that I back up to 140, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I was like, oh, I'm on my period. I'm probably just up because I'm on my period. I'm probably just bloated. And then I tested it later, and I was still like 140 or like 138, and I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, why did I gain that weight back? I don't understand. But because I was really insecure about it, even though I don't really think I look any different. So the only thing I remember was that there was a point where I almost had a thigh gap. I didn't, but, like, I almost did, and that was one thing, and I'll be honest right now, that I was always so insecure about, because I liked my legs when I had, like, calf muscles. It was like, hey, I have these great calf muscles, because I was really serious about dance for a while. And then I was always mad that I didn't have a thigh gap, and I always wanted a thigh gap, which is stupid. When I say that's stupid, I don't mean it's stupid if you have a thigh gap naturally. If you're a girl and you have a thigh gap, that's great. But I just mean, like, or if you're a guy, I guess. I just don't really think about it. But what I mean is that I don't mean thigh gaps are stupid. I mean wanting thigh gaps when you can't naturally get them easily is stupid. And the whole stigma and the whole thing about thigh gaps is stupid. But the thing is when I was younger, so it's just like recently, I was like almost had this thigh gap, and I was like, and then somehow I gained a bunch of weight back, and I don't know how I did that. The only thing I can figure is because I wasn't exercising for a few months. That's probably the only reason I can come up with, even though I hadn't been exercising consistently at all. So when I said I, like, worked out for the first time today, I don't want anyone to be worried and, like, be like, oh my god, you worked out, you're so out of shape, you're so out of breath. And they saw that video I filmed, it's like, you're so out of breath, you need help. I'm like, I literally worked out for the first time in months, give me a break. Like, and that's just because I kind of want to be in shape, and the thing is that I feel so out of shape, and it's not just that I don't work out, it's that I've lost a lot of my muscle in my calves, which I miss having, because that was something I always liked flexing. I've never been a good stamina person, and, like, okay, like, thick thighs I can live with, but, like, I want those calf muscles, right? Like, I need those calf muscles back. And it's just, like, one of those things, and I've never had good arm strength. My arms are noodles. We all know this. But it's just, like, and by the way, that's not me being self-deprecating. That's true. So, yes. So, it's just, like, I'm not even really in a position, like, generally speaking, I'm not even worried about losing weight. I just want to be fitter, I guess. More fitter. I want to have some of that muscle back. I'm not even worried about, like, am I actually losing weight? But there's, like, that subconscious part of me, which is, like, oh, you should lose weight, because, like, honestly, what the fuck? And then you look at those BMI charts online, and it's like, oh, you're technically overweight. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't even look overweight. Literally no one says I'm overweight. Literally, my doctor doesn't say I'm overweight. So it's just, oh my god, this stuff online is so stupid. But that's genuinely how I feel. So going back to what I was saying about refusing to diet is when I was 10 or 11, I remember I had this, like, phobia of canned food, because we were talking about, like, the chemicals they put in it, like BPA and stuff that can, like, cause cancer or kill you. And, you know, over large exposure for a long period of time and all that. And I just remember I had this, like, phobia of canned food, and I would still eat it, because, like, my mom would make me food and I would eat it. But I just remember, because we didn't eat a lot of meat when I was a kid, so out of, like, baked beans and stuff, or just, like, beans. I don't know. I still don't eat, like, a shit ton of meat, because, like I said, I never ate that much meat. My dad eats, like, meat. My mom doesn't. My mom didn't eat anything other than poultry. My dad eats, like, a lot of meat, and I'm just kind of somewhere in the middle. I just kind of eat meat if it's a good supplement. to whatever I'm eating. But I am pretty picky about textures for meat as well. Like, I think a lot of meat is too tough and I won't eat it. But the point I'm making is, I had this, like, phobia of, like, canned food, and I started wanting to, like, only get BPA-free cans or not eat canned food. And I remember we would look for the BPA-free cans, because I was just, you couldn't always guarantee that, because we were going to, like, Walmart or whatever, and it's like, hey, you need to chill out and eat what's put in front of you. Or I'd go to a restaurant and I'd be like, I wonder if these canned tomatoes come from a can with BPA in it. And, like, I take like reasonable precautions. Like, these days I carry around like a plastic or metal water bottle, okay, that I get at the store, but it's the same water bottle that I carry around for months until I get a new one, you know. So I carry the same water bottle around for months, and those, I always make sure I buy those BPA free, because, like, I'm, you know, it's one a reasonable thing. I'm gonna be carrying that water bottle around for months and drinking out of that for months. But it's like eating canned food, like, I had to come to a point where I wasn't stressed about it. Like, I had to not be worried about it. And the same thing with, like, I realized, like, oh, my mom ate healthier than my dad, and she's the one who got cancer, and there's no reason for it. So she's like, yeah, something might increase your risk of cancer, but, like, at the end of the day, you just gotta live your life. And it's one of the things that I just always would be super, I don't know, pressed about. And when I was younger, that was something that would always stress me out, and I had this, like, thing about food. So there's already a good bit of food I won't eat because of texture and reasons that it makes me think. And I get so stressed when people tell me to be vegan, because I'm like, that's a pretty large dietary restriction that is, like, legitimately, I will not diet. And anyone just be like, oh, you should diet. I will not diet because I have a strong feeling that if I dieted, I could develop an eating disorder, because, like, I know my personality, and I've never had an eating disorder. But, like, I know my obsessive personality, and I have a strong feeling that if I dieted, I would become obsessive about it, and I would not eat certain things. And even if it's not an eating disorder, like, even if it's not, like, oh, I want to be skinny, if it's, like, there's other types of eating disorders, like, oh, this food is impure, I can't eat this, or, like, just various things. And I'm not judging. I actually saw someone on TikTok saying veganism made them have an eating disorder. And I'm not judging vegans whatsoever. If you want to be vegan, or hell, if veganism has helped you out of an eating disorder, that's fucking awesome. I have nothing against it. Which is, like, for me personally, I refuse to diet at all. Like, any sort of diet. Even if it's something that would not be drastic or would actually be healthier than what I currently eat. I'm just, part of it's just because I just don't have the time or resources to really put into a diet. Honestly, as I'm, you know, becoming an adult, I'm gonna eat that $1 ramen if I want to. But the point is that I feel like I would be so uptight about the things, because when I would weigh myself, I'd be like, oh, I gained 2 pounds. It's like, oh, shit. So it's like, I'd be uptight about it, or, oh, it's like, because I noticed how much my weight would fluctuate throughout the day, and I'm like, is this normal? So if I'd be uptight about weight gain, like, this is something that, you know, I just feel like it could develop into something bad. So I don't know. And, like, dieting in general is just something I'm not a fan of, and that's what I was going to say, like, no offense to people who diet. If you can do it, I will say this right now, if you could, regardless of what the diet is, if it's keto, if it's vegan, if it's just your own personal diet, whatever, if it's a doctor recommended diet, whatever, if you can do it healthfully, if you can stay healthy and not overdo it, okay, right? And this goes for exercise as well. Exercise is good, but you can't overdo it. And, like, I will exercise. I don't refuse to exercise, but I refuse to over-exercise. So, the thing is that, with dieting, and this is my general opinion on dieting, is I think if you can do it healthfully in moderation and not get obsessed with the nitty-gritty, and if you can, you know, treat yourself once in a while and not be so rigid about it that you can't enjoy a treat for your friend's birthday or something, right? Like, if you want to be so rigid about your diet, like, generally speaking, if you want to go by a diet, but if you're going to be so rigid that it's ruining your life and it's not fun anymore, that's when there's a problem with dieting. And I've seen it happen so many times. Not even if, like, celebrities, I mean, it does happen to celebrities too, but then there are also celebrities who have crazy diets and are perfectly fine and healthy. Like, The Rock has a crazy diet, and he's like, that's what he does. He has to maintain that diet, but then there's this whole thing with, like, actors having to maintain certain diets for, like, roles, which is definitely interesting, and certain workouts for roles, which is just kind of what you do if you're an actor, I guess. But, like, even with, like, normal people, I've just seen, like, people I'll see go on diets, and this is the thing about YouTube, I see so many people go on diets on YouTube, and, like, trying out a diet, like, for a video, or for a vlog, and I'm like, And this worries me because, like, I see this a lot. It's like, and what I mean is that I feel like diets are really, really easy to overdo because it's something that someone can, like, look at and be like, oh, just diet better. I want to diet more. I want to diet more. I'm gonna be so uptight and rigorous about this diet. Then I'm gonna start counting calories. Then I'm gonna start doing this and that. And then before I know it, you have an eating disorder. It's just like, so I don't think dieting is inherently wrong. If you think you can diet in a healthy way, then by all means go for it. But personally, for me, I don't think I can diet in a healthy way because I'm just unable to do that. And this is what I was talking about, going back to what I was saying, is what scares me is that people will do really weird things for the internet. I mean, the shirt challenge probably wasn't the safest thing. But, like, I think it was Gabby Hanna. Was it Gabby Hanna? Did she do keto for a month or a week? I think it was a week. I can't remember how long she did keto for, but, like, just suddenly jumping into keto without a doctor recommendation just to try it out, that really fucked her up. It's like, I'm not saying keto is necessarily a bad thing. It works for some people, and for some people, it's the best diet. And I know of someone who's totally on keto and totally doing great, and that's the diet that works for them. But the point I'm making is, if you're not typically a keto person, you just jump into keto or jump into veganism or jump into some sort of diet that you don't have any experience with. That just scares me. And even more when it's just ridiculous stuff. Like, I mean, speaking of Gabby Hanna, she had one where it's like, I drink 4 gallons of water a day for, like, I forget what it actually was. It was something really weird. It was a really weird diet that didn't make it wasn't really a diet. Or she did the video with no coffee for a week, and I'm not saying coffee is healthy. I personally don't drink it because it makes me anxious. But if she was going through caffeine withdrawals, just it's like, people who do these things, oh, I'm gonna do this for a week, or I'm gonna eat like this for a week. And then it's even worse when you go to celebrities. I'm gonna eat like The Rock for a week. Like, no, you're gonna die. Like, it's one of the things, I mean, you know, when people eat weird foods, 2 things that are way too spicy and do those challenges online, it's just like, so why? I don't know. It's just one of those things that really bothers me. Like, I was just seeing, and like, this isn't even, like, I've seen YouTubers who are literally sick and need help. Like, not because of any expressed diet that they have, but because there will be YouTubers who will literally have problems. And it's like, this isn't fun. Not because of any express diet, not because they're saying, oh, you should go on my diet, but, and then there's all sorts of people who recommend things which aren't professional things. It's like, oh, I'm a YouTuber, I recommend a diet. And then it's people who don't even recommend a diet, but you just see and you know they're having trouble. It's like, I see this on YouTube all the freaking time. Like Eugenia Cooney, it's like she was getting better and now she's worse again. It's like, she clearly has an eating disorder, and we know she has, and she admitted to it when she got into rehab. But it's like, the point of, like, just something about, like, she's never expressing, but, like, I can't imagine, like, does she even eat? Like, that's kind of the question. It's like, it's just a sense of stress, and I don't know, it's a lot, and the shit that people deal with, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna diet, and, like, even with my friend or whatever, I see people do this all the time, and I had a friend who was, like, literally used to eat so much junk food and crap, and then suddenly, next time I talked to her, oh, she's vegan and she's dieting, and then she was diagnosed with orthorexia and anorexia and went to the hospital. So it's kind of like, oh, well, it's like when you go too quickly into a diet, and then even if you do things for, like, oh, I'm gonna do a diet for a week or 10 days, those are honestly some of the scariest ones, because it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, and I literally saw, because I was just looking into the story on Jim, and just to see, like, what was going on with him, because it was worrying me. And I saw that there were people actually doing the diet, and what the Jim and diet is eating 1 meal in 10 days. 1 meal in 10 days. And it's like, the fact that you would actually try that, I mean, it's disturbing enough that he was doing it and, like, somehow still dancing on stage and shit, but, like, the fact that, like, random person on the internet would try that for a vlog, like, oh my god, like, I'm just like, oh, I'll have snacks and then a meal every 10 days. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, And it's like, it doesn't even have to be that extreme. Like, again, even the ones where it's like, I tried keto for a week and then I was really sick because I'm not used to eating keto. It's like, you have to have a doctor recommendation. So it's just like something that, personally, if you think you can diet, if you want to go on like a soft diet or just like try to watch your whatever intake yourself, that's totally fine. If you think you can do that, perfectly fine. If your doctor recommends a diet, that's fine. But when you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go on a diet for a trend, and that's like one thing I refuse to do. Like, even if I was vlogging, like, no, I'm like. Also, I don't want to go the other way either. I don't think mukbang, I don't think that's a good thing either. It's like, I'm just gonna eat a bunch of stuff on camera. Like, why? Like, that's not healthy. Don't starve yourself for a video. Don't eat stuff for a video. What the fuck is it? Like, I don't understand. It's like, oh, I want a mukbang. It's like, no. It's like, I don't understand. It's like, it's just this thing. So just, like, I refuse to diet, personally, because of these reasons. So, if I end up not losing weight, then that's why. But, yeah, so basically, I've just been getting my life back on track, which is a good thing. And I'm really relieved, honestly, to be getting my life back on track. But basically, long story short, TLDR is just that I'm basically gonna be rebranding and gonna be making some more series content, and yeah, so that's basically all there is to it, and just kind of opening up like how I've been and what the fuck was wrong with me, because I keep like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then no, I'm gonna do this now, and then I'm gonna do this, and I like kept lying, so it was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? So I ended up just kind of doing that. So anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. I honestly have no idea what I'm going to film next, so you guys can just stay tuned. There will be a video sometime soon, most likely. I might actually do a top 20 ranked. I'll have to see, but I'm not promising it. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. 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 Adios. I don't know. Hi. Bye.